I'll give you a few minutes if you want to talk about the episode. Spoiler free, so people can know what to expect without knowing what to expect.
Okay. Also, disclaimer to anyone that is just here because they like hearing us talk or something. This is just background disclaimer. This what we're about to talk right now is where the show just takes a shift. It like is drastically different. I don't know what happened, but it's just like drastically different than the first beginnings of this season. That's why we talked about like random rambling stuff from the first beginning, because there's not much to talk about. But
It's
okay.
easy what happened. They took Boba Fett out of the show, and it instantly became better.
So I guess I have to talk about episode 5 and 6.
Go ahead.
I'll keep it mainly on 6. I'll touch on 5. My feelings on 5 is I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved every second of it. And
This is the way.
yeah, this is the way. Although I do want to say this quick. I hate rambling, but I keep remembering things. I do think that what's her name? It's either the forger or
The armor.
the armorer. Yeah, she's a bad person. She's a villain, and I didn't think this whole time. And I saw something on TikTok the other day, and it made me think. And I was like, "Whoa, she's the villain," because someone told what's her name, the other Mandalorian chick that was in Mandalorian season 3 or 2,
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan told him.
Why am I the one telling you all this? You're
I forgot the names. How do I remember name Bo-Katan?
You're the one who knows the new Star Wars. I'm the old Star Wars guy.
Oh, well, yeah. Maybe. That's why we're a team, you know? If you didn't know, then we'd be in trouble.
There you go.
But, anyways, Bo-Katan or someone told him that he's part of Death Watch or, like, that type of Mandalorian. And Mandalorian itself, that's why it's, like, hard to remember all this stuff, is just very confusing. Like, all the lore for it is just very confusing because it's like a religion on some parts, or it's just like a lifestyle on other parts, aka Mando and Boba Fett. Boba Fett's like the lifestyle, Mando's like the religion, and it's weird. But regardless, episode 5, loved it because it was just Mandalorian season 3 and without Grogu. And I thought I was gonna hate season 3 without Grogu because Grogu made that show. I actually still like it because I'm interested in Mando himself now, and he has the Darksaber, which makes it even more interesting. If he didn't, then it'd be a little bit less. But just like knowing that he has the Darksaber and that's basically a lightsaber but cooler, that just makes me want to watch it, and it means a lot more than just being a saber, and I like that too. And that's basically episode 5. I think the 2 other Mandalorians are villains. In the long run, and
They could be, yeah.
Watch, because the other dude is a descendant of the dude that made that thing, so he's really religious.
That was very precise. The dude is a descendant of the dude that made the thing.
The dude is the descendant of the guy that made the Darksaber. Sorry. Yeah, thanks for catching me on that.
Also, I had my favorite.
Knows what I'm talking about.
But I also had my favorite ship ever. The N1 Naboo Starfighter was always by far my favorite Star Wars ship.
Not mine, but I actually like the Razor Crest better, but not anymore. I like it better than the yellow Naboo Starfighter.
Yeah, I was disappointed when they made it platinum color. I would have rather they keep it yellow.
Really?
Yeah.
We can come back to that.
Well, I understand it fits the Mando's armor, but this ship is yellow and it's the best looking ship in all Star Wars. This and the Y-Wing. People don't like the Y-Wing, but there you go. Another discussion for another time. I'm just taking notes. We're gonna do this every fucking week at this rate.
Dude, we could easily. Like, which is the best ship, or yada yada yada. That's why this is episode 1. Other ones will be way more structured. But regardless, episode 5, great show or great episode, and that's all. Episode 6.
Non-spoiler, be careful. We still have a few minutes of non-spoilerish, guys, but after that, we're going to go full tilt into spoilers, and we're going to change the images, so
I totally just spoiled
careful.
episode 5. I totally just spoiled it.
Yeah, but the title of the stream is about episode 6, so I am going to presume people have seen episode 5 if they watch a review of episode 6.
True. Okay. Episode 6. Non-spoiler review. Non-spoiler review. Non-spoiler review. Saying that 3 times so I remember, not you. Great. Even better than 5. Because you get a little taste of everything. And you get the continuation of Mandalorian basically. And then even though it's Boba Fett's show, he's only sprinkled in there. He's not like driven in there. It's like a Mando show now. And
it's instantly better.
And it's better. And
it's much better.
It is better. I will agree with you on that. And it's better because it's not Boba.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of Boba Fett, but how they make him look and do his things in this entire show, I'm not a big fan of. And I like the armor. I like the way it looks, and I like his abilities and like the radar thing. But like I think it's probably I don't want a different actor, but the fact that he's so old makes it harder. Because I don't think he was that old when he first went in the pit.
It's lore accurate, at least.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's just
wasn't okay. I might be saying something wrong for once, but wasn't Boba a clone that aged quicker than the other ones, which would make him maybe even more too young right now? Wasn't he like aging at twice? I don't know. Wasn't he supposed to age twice the age of the other clones? Oh, maybe I'm fucking up here.
By the way, questionable kelp. Yes, you might want to go if you haven't seen a single episode and plan on watching it without spoilers. But anyways, I feel like he's, I don't know. I don't know the aging exactly off the top of my head. That's always the one thing I have to look up. But I feel like to me, he seems like he's older than his dad was, like when he died. You know?
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be?
The Kaminoan gave Django a clone that was aging twice the rate of the other clones. That was his reward. If I'm not wrong. Please, and chat, help me if I'm fucking up. I need to be corrected.
I didn't know it was
I don't want to be corrected on the prequels, but I might have to. That's my understanding, that Boba as a clone, because Boba, obviously, everyone knows he is one of the clones. What made him different from the others was that he was aging faster than the other clones.
That makes sense because
on purpose.
He was like a teenager in the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah.
And that's only like a few years after the second episode.
Which makes sense why 30 years later it looks like he's 60.
But wait, actually, I'm going to have to look this up. Like,
I'm going to have to look this up. Yeah, me too, because maybe I'm spreading fake news here.
Because it is years after Phantom Menace, or no. Yeah, he was a little like 9-year-old in Attack on Clones.
Yeah, and it's about 30 years later because Luke was born at the end of the third one, and Luke is about 30, right?
Yeah. Okay, they did it right. I actually support that.
It's if I'm right, maybe I'm fucking up here.
No, I think you got it. I don't know. It's just some aspects of the show make it hard for me to watch, especially in this episode 6, which I know we disagree on.
Still non-spoiler. I can't wait to jump into spoilers, though, guys.
I know, because there's something big. Well, it's not huge, but there's something that we do not agree on at all, and it's in episode 6 only. And then there's another thing I want to touch on that's spoiler. Any more non-spoiler? I do like the plot. Like, if you remember all the plot for this episode.
It's hard to remember all the plots because all the special things, that takes all the place in my memory. And then I remember there's a little scene with Boba and Fennec and their crew, and they're just planning the defense against the Pikes. And this is so far in the back of my head when I'm talking about all the big things that happened this time that, again, just erases all the hype I could have gotten for Boba Fett, because he's like an extra in this show right now.
Yeah, and I like that.
Me too. No, you're the one supposed to love Boba Fett.
I mean, I do, but he was never a main character.
I think I heard someone say that earlier.
Me?
No, me.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. He was never intended, like in the origin of Boba Fett, he was never intended to be a main character, but Mando was. And that's the difference. And that's why it's so good for Mandalorian's series and so bad for Boba Fett. Even though they're wearing the same armor, it's so different. And
True.
I think the root of it is one's main character, one's not. So, but yeah, that's my non-spoiler review. What about your non-spoiler for episode 6? I'm curious.
Okay. Not a lot of Boba Fett. A lot of surprises. Actually, the first episode I'm very, very hyped about. I loved episode 5, but it was not like I was not super hyped to talk about it because it was finally a good episode. Nice, thank God it's finally there. But we had to wait 4 episodes for that, so I was not so happy about it. It's like when you really want something and you don't get it, you just get frustrated, and you finally get it. You don't say nice, finally, thank you so much. You just say, yeah, why took you so long?
True.
But this one, damn, I'm super happy and a bit disappointed at the same time, but for the right reasons, I think. So, should we just go into the crazy stuff? Is it time? Is it time?
Tension. I feel the tension.
Yeah, because I really want to say, and I have this picture that I've set up for you that I'm just one click away from revealing.
I gotta see it.
Okay, so we're gonna say it one more time, guys. Just one last time. This will be, for now on, this will be spoiler heavy. Do yourself a favor. Do not watch this if you have not watched the episode. If you plan to watch the episode, because they did something good here. They finally did something good. Are you ready? Should I change the picture?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, guys. 1, 2, 3. Freaking Luke Skywalker and Grogu are back. But Luke Skywalker is not back for 5 seconds. He's back for the, 30 fucking minutes.
Yeah, I was expecting 6 minutes max. But no, that's half the episode.
And he doesn't look like shit. He looks good.
Yeah, he looks good when he's not moving or talking. But right as soon as he says more than 3 words, something about, I don't know if this is like me, it just doesn't line up perfect. And if it's not lining up perfect,
it's the voice. The voice doesn't match at all. I don't know whose actor they took to do the voice. The voice doesn't fit at all. But
and you don't start to notice it until, or at least I didn't start to notice it until he started saying like more complete sentences.
Yeah.
And then all the sentences, even like if you find someone that's spot on Luke impression, you could have had him say way more reasonable stuff rather than just like, all right, now it's time for your training. Good job.
True.
That I was so stale. It was so stale. And it was bothering me actually on how stale it was. Because I was like, did they like type this into the computer and have a robot like AI thing say it? Because it sounds like they did. And even if you watch it back after I said that, I bet you'll think the same thing.
Do you agree that it's 1,000 times better than what they did at the end of Mandalorian season 2?
It's the same thing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I see it as a huge improvement. Okay. Well, we're gonna switch the colors now. You're Mr. Negative. I'm Mr. Positive.
Yeah, we're switching colors right now because I didn't care for the whole Luke thing. I'm glad they have him. I would love to have him, but I just feel like they could have done better, and it's mainly because of the dialogue that they chose. Or
okay.
They chose, because it was just so stale. Like when he started talking to Ahsoka. By the way, Ahsoka's in this episode as well.
Yeah, there you go, Ahsoka.
Which I have stuff to say about Ahsoka specifically, and we'll be back. She's getting her own TV show, I'm pretty sure.
I think she's supposed to, but
yeah, she's supposed to. But something with Disney and Star Wars and show making has just gone to shit. Like someone's messing up bad. Like I don't know what's happening. It's probably COVID related though. Anyways.
So yeah, so at the beginning of the episode, we see our favorite Mandalorian, which is not Boba Fett, but Mando here, Din Djarin, right? Djarin?
I think it's Din Djarin, yeah.
Djarin. So he goes to this planet that I don't think we know the name, but I would presume is the exact same planet we see in The Last Jedi when Luke trains the Kylo Ren, because we see the same little huts made of stone, right? You agree it's the same planet? Because at the end, they showed the round rock huts, and it looks exactly.
Are you talking about in that flashback thing?
Yeah, exactly. When you see Luke trying to quote unquote kill Kylo Ren, there's in the same kind of huts made of rocks.
Yeah.
So I think it's made to understand that it's the same planet.
Yeah. I forgot about that because The Last Jedi is The Last Jedi.
Yeah, only the best Star Wars movie ever in the last 10 years.
Okay, we'll be back for this one.
Another one. I hope you're taking notes, guys. I hope you're taking notes.
Seriously, anyone that's watching this, like, holy crap, that was the biggest hot take I've ever heard in my life. I've never heard another person say that in my life.
I'm gonna lose all my followers right now.
Yeah. That's crazy, but we'll.
You know what? Well, if you call me out, I just put this photo of your sandwich on screen, and we're gonna be instantly squared.
And that's okay, because it's your face right next to that sandwich.
Okay, fine. So yeah, let's go back to the episode. Mando just goes on this planet because he wants to see Grogu back, right? So he just lands is a super awesome ship on the planet, and who does he see? He sees Ahsoka. And he tells Ahsoka he wants to see the baby Jedi, and she tells him, no, you cannot, because we are like the old Jedi of old, and we believe that attachment will break him, and you should not go and see him because you're going to fuck up his training. And Mando says, okay, well, and he just leaves. So that was pointless. But then we have 20 minutes of Luke Skywalker, CGI Luke, playing with puppet Grogu, and I loved it so much. I don't know why. Maybe it's nostalgia.
Yeah. I actually love what they did with Grogu, because instead of him just being stationary and just like pick up, move, they like added a little waddle now. And he did a little waddle before, but it's like even more waddling. And then when he's like waddling alongside Luke just like uses the Force, picks him up, and keeps him along. That was really funny to me.
But by the way, just gonna say that I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. But Kinesif is in my chat says The Last Jedi was so good. So Moose, in your face.
Oh, I guess I'm outnumbered.
It's 2v1 now. It's 2v1 now.
I know that if we were to title this like, is The Last Jedi a good movie? Like talk.
That's gonna be a pot pie Paul debate someday. I can tell you, a pot pie Paul debate someday will be about The Last Jedi. I can assure you that.
And you know which side I'll be on. And also,
yeah, you'll be on. I'll put you on the right side.
Kinesif, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Oh, awesome, Kinesif.
Yeah.
Oh, see, he told you were wrong, but still followed you. So there you go.
Yeah, granted, they did follow me before we started talking about that, so there could be an unfollow occurring.
So yeah, so my question here: we see Mando going to the planet and just says, "I want to see the baby," and they tell him no, and he said, "Okay," and he leaves. And this takes 30 minutes of the episode. So he gave the little chainmail to Ahsoka, which we don't know is a chainmail yet. And he says, give that to him. So it was awesome. I loved it. Didn't need to take half of the episode because it's literally 30 minutes of 25 on the 45 minutes episode is him going to the planet, watching them from a distance, saying, I want to see my baby. Ahsoka says, no, you cannot. And then he says, okay, fine. And he leaves. So
I think they should have done less like him waiting, and then they could have gotten over with that faster. Yes, I agree. But I do like how they were dragging out that moment because it just shows how much of like a father he was to Grogu, and he has that like son bond rather than just like, oh, I found this kid, now I have this attachment. It's more of like it's like deeper than that, and they're like trying to get at that. I'm pretty sure. I liked it. I actually wasn't bothered by how long they took with him waiting around. I wasn't like annoyed. I wasn't like, oh, this is moving fast. And it's probably because I was expecting to see Grogu training montages last like 30 seconds, whereas that was also like half the episode. And I like that for training montages because usually they're like a minute long, and it's like, oh, he's already like super good, like Rey. You know, how when she trains, it's somehow she went from being a scavenger to a full-blown like wise Jedi, just like Luke. Like
I was about to say just like Luke, because when people shit on Rey, they don't bring up the fact that she's exactly the same as Luke.
Yeah, Luke was a very fast train thing, but you can also like say that his midichlorian count is higher. Just
don't say that word in here, please. I'm a prickle
guy. You don't like it?
I'm a prickle guy, but this word will get you banned.
Why?
Because that's not how the Force works.
I feel like that is a good way of how the Force could work. I feel like that's a great way.
Okay,
It's
that
like
just
some people are born a little bit more, some people are born with the potential to be a little bit more powerful than everyone else. Not everyone is born with the same count. You know?
okay. Well, you might be better than other at public speaking, let's say, because obviously
Yeah.
you're pretty good at it because you're on stream right now and you're doing pretty good. Is there
Thank you.
anything we can find in your blood that makes you good at public speaking, or would it be just
There's a
putting
difference here.
putting your no? It's the same.
There's a difference. Um, I would, I don't know how it works, like biologically, like, but I feel like there's a certain cap on someone's IQ. Like Albert Einstein was ridiculously smart. I think it's genetically impossible for me to get that smart as Albert Einstein. That's what I mean. Like, people can. This is just how I like to think it works, and hopefully this is how midichlorians work or whatever, where you're born with the capability of being more powerful in the Force than other people. You know what I mean? Not saying immediately, but like you have the potential. And I don't know. That's another debate right there.
It is, yeah. Okay, let's go back to episode. While Mando is being shown the way back and he's being told, no, you cannot see your son, we have about 20 minutes. It's not even a montage. It's just nice scenes of CGI Luke training Grogu. And we see one thing I think everybody's wanting to see for a long time. We see Luke going into Grogu's memory, and we see something, and I love this scene. We see Jedis being killed during Order 66.
Literally, my favorite thing about Star Wars is Order 66. It's so good for some reason. I don't know why, but
and you can see some clone troopers from Anakin's regiment, and you can see all of them. Although I'm just gonna say these 3 Jedis over there died pretty bad because I don't think any clone troopers fell to the ground during the fight, which is a bit disappointing because they should have got a few clones, I guess. But
I thought they learned their lesson with how fast Palpatine like killed those Jedi, but apparently not, and it was even worse because they weren't even Sith.
So yeah, we see like I think I counted something like 8 clone troopers that are able to dispatch 3 Jedis without any casualty on their hand, which got me a bit puzzled. But still, it was old school Jedis with blue and green lightsabers fighting clones. What's more to like, right?
I didn't look that deep into it where I was bothered by.
Well, I took a screenshot of it, so I have it in front of me right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm just like, it's wishful thinking for me to just say that there's more clones in the back causing more mayhem or something.
Could be.
And we're not getting the full picture. And it's just like a snippet from Grogu's angle, which is in a crib.
Could be his memory as well. We don't know.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not gonna get too mad about that. Personally.
Oh, I'm not mad. I'm just pointing out that it was cool. We all wanted to see. Cool. It just confirmed the theories of everyone saying that Grogu was indeed at the academy on Coruscant.
Yeah, I mean, I like that, and I don't know where else they'd put him though. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That means he trained with Yoda.
Right, and I was actually that whole scene. I was actually like verbally, like outgoingly saying, "Please be Yaddle's baby." You know Yaddle. I was like, "Please be like Yaddle's baby." That would make sense if it was Yaddle's baby, and it still could be. I'm really hoping for that because it kind of just is. I like the mysterious of like us not knowing like Yoda's like species or where they came from, and I almost don't want them to be like, oh, we can trace it back to this planet, and then we go back to that planet, we see a bunch of different Yoda-looking alien things, whatever they are. I actually don't want that, but it would be cool if they like confirm that because it's recycling. I like recycling.
Recycling again.
And no one ever talks about Yaddle except for like in a comic, or I'm pretty sure I've seen comic strips of Yaddle, but if you don't know who Yaddle is, just go watch the prequels and look at the Jedi Council, sorry, and look at the ring and look to your left. I'm pretty sure she's on the left.
Only in episode 1.
Only in episode 1, but still, maybe in Clone Wars too. I'm not sure, but
I don't like Clone Wars that much.
Anyways, back to episode 6.
Yeah, we see after that we see a montage of Luke using the remote control not the probe droid. What's the name of the little ball?
Remote thing.
The remote training thing, and obviously we see it all the time now. I'm getting a bit bored of it because it's too much recycling. But we see it again, and Luke uses it to make Grogu move. And they did something good with the puppet. They make the puppet jump. They make the puppet run away. They make the puppet use the Force. It's incredible. I guess there's a little bit of CGI involved over there.
Yeah, and I actually like the blending of CGI and puppet because they use CGI when they absolutely need to, it feels like, and it's seamless. And, like, I could tell just because I'm looking for it in a way. But if you were to just, like, casually watch Star Wars and not super in-depth, I almost feel like I look for certain things that the average person, like, shouldn't. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. Tentacle, thank you.
Oh, Tentacle. Hello there.
Tentacle.
Tentacle, well, you know who that is.
Welcome to the herd. That's what I could say.
Tentacle's the one working so hard to help me organize the debates.
Yeah, I know Tentacle.
Okay,
I just couldn't see it pop up because I'm on Discord. So, yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't like, oh, thanks, Tentacle, whoever you are. I meant whoever I just heard. Whatever. I'm on a tangent. Welcome to the talk. Anyways, I don't remember what I was saying. That's how it works.
We're talking about the CGI on Grogu.
Oh yeah. Long story short, seamless, great. I love that they added the footwork they added with Grogu and the jumping. It was great, and yeah, that brings me into another thing, but I don't want to skip your bullet points, so I'll just keep remembering all the stuff.
Well, we're gonna leave this planet that I didn't notice the name of. By the way, I don't know if you found the name of this planet.
Nope, but I do like the planet.
Looks good. Good
planet.
So Mando is being shown the door because he's being said, nope, you cannot see your baby. So he just takes his awesome ship and goes to where else? Tatooine again.
He's got to go back.
He's got to go back.
That's the sprinkle of Boba Fett show.
True. Yeah.
You're watching Boba Fett and you think you're watching season 3 of Mandalorian, and then that comes on.
And there's like a 10-second scenes where Mando and Boba are in the same place, and they just look at each other and they said, they did not say, yeah. And then it's over. That's it.
That's all I need. That's all I need, and that's all I was expecting. And that's hopefully what the rest of the season's like.
Yeah, not so many Boba. We also see your favorite Wookiee.
Yeah. Around
the table. So Boba is talking with his new crew. So Boba did assemble a crew with Black Croissant. That's the name? Black Croissant. The Croissant Noir. In French, I don't know. It sounds like croissant. So now I want to eat a croissant.
I don't even know who that is on there. What do you mean?
Well, the big black Wookiee.
Oh yeah, Chrysanthemum.
Well, I think black is part of his name.
Oh, well, I just thought it was Chrysanthemum.
Okay, maybe I got it wrong. So Boba did assemble his crew with Mando, Chrysanthemum, and a few full soldiers, and he just says, "Yeah, finally we're gonna be able to fight the Pikes." And there's a scene I don't really remember. They go back to the bar, and the bar explodes. And I was thinking about Luke and everything, and I didn't go back. Can you explain me why the bar exploded? I didn't get that one.
The bar exploded for no reason in particular, maybe other than the Pikes feeling threatened and blowing shit up.
So it was the Pike blowing up the bars.
Yeah, it was the Pikes for sure.
Okay.
It was confirmed because the scene was, the 2 Pikes sitting in the bar, and 2 of the Twi'leks walk up to him and they're like, "Do you need your helmets cleaned?" And then they go back to the bar owner lady who walks around, and she, they go back. The 2 Twi'leks go back to her and are like, "Yeah, they didn't want us to clean their helmets. I don't know what's their problem, but they didn't want us to do it. So she's like, huh. Then they get up and walk out the door.
And the thing explodes.
And then the thing explodes. So it's just, I think that's just telling us like the Pikes are causing havoc on Tatooine, not giving a shit, thinking that they can run the place. And I think it's just trying to stir it up, along with the Cad Bane stuff. That whole
Damn, you said it. Oh, you said it.
I did.
You said it. God damn it. I was about to segue here to your favorite guy here.
Yeah.
Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, and that's the same. I'm sorry if I know you got the stuff pulled up and timing it right, but that's the same idea. I'm trying to think of the word for it, but it's like the same exact action that they're trying to pull for the show, in my opinion, is the Pikes stirring stuff up around the town, and the town's got to band together under the leadership of Boba Fett. And then Boba Fett's going to gain everyone's respect by leading Tatooine, or at least all these communities of Tatooine, together to get rid of the Pike Syndicate.
Which is exactly what Mando had to do in Season 1, Episode 2. Season 2, I mean, Episode 1 with Cobb Vanth. And they even referenced it, saying, yeah, I united the town, and I had all the town fight against the monster.
But now it's not just the town.
They did it to the better character, and now they're going to do it to the lesser one using the exact same thing.
Except for on a bigger scale. So, Star Wars writers are never afraid of reusing the same story.
Yeah, it's like poetry, right? It rhymes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Force Awakens and New Hope, same thing. Although Force Awakens is the best out of that trilogy. Way better than The Last Jedi. I just wanted to put that out there for you. Let that resonate.
Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, I just had to put that out there.
You just had to say it. You just had to say it.
Yeah. But yeah, the Pikes, they're just gonna be assholes, and.
Okay, so they just blew up the bar to show that. So for us to understand that they're bad guys, which we didn't knew so far.
It's stupid. Okay, I just like totally forgot they did that until you brought it up, because that's how dumb it was and pointless it was, and they didn't need it, yet they did it, and I don't know why they did it.
Well, they did it. Well, Mando leaves to see his good old friend Cobb Vanth, which we've seen in the aforementioned episode 1 of season 2 of Mandalorian. We remember this guy. I think he's played by Timothy Dalton.
I don't know the actors.
Yeah, I like the actors. Yeah, this guy, it doesn't show, but this guy played Hitman in the Hitman movie.
Oh,
and
really?
Hitman is one of my favorite. It's funny to see this guy with such great hairs. He played the bald assassin.
Yeah, he does have great hair on that.
He does.
On Boba Fett.
You have a great smile too.
I don't really care for the character that much. It's just like.
Well, it's a good thing you don't, because what happens to him?
He gets got.
He gets Cad Bane, right?
Yeah, which is cool. I was like, in the beginning of the episode, I'm like, why are they starting it off? Because they actually did start off the entire episode with him, you know, scaring off the Spice Runners, or whoever those people, or the Pike Syndicate. I don't know what you would call them, but regardless, I don't care for that character that much. He was just like a sheriff of a town, and Star Wars is just very like westerny and likes doing that, and I like it to a certain point. And I know Cad Bane's the ultimate like standoff guy, and I did like that.
I was scared Cad Bane was about to lose his duel, the way it was set up.
Yeah,
it would have been disappointing.
It would have been like the end of me liking this episode if they just were like, "Oh, this is Cad Bane," and then he gets shot. And then there would be here's what would happen. There'd be such bad backlash that they would somehow pull a Star Wars Resurrection on that and use him in some other thing. But anyways, I'm glad that Cad Bane won, and I like Cad Bane. I like the voice actor on it. I don't know if it's the same from the show.
I was about to ask you, because you watch more of the Clone Wars than me. Do you think was the voice similar?
It sounds exactly the same, like exactly the same. The weird thing is, I never realized how pointy the teeth were.
Yeah, me neither.
In the show, until I watched this one, and I don't like his lip, because his lip, it like bothered me. not because it's like scary or weird to look at. It bothered me because it looks so bad where his lip is like up here and he just looks like he's talking like this. And
Yeah.
um yeah, that's the only part I didn't like about him. Everything else, like the eyes were perfect. Eyes perfect. They look scary, looks cool. His like height, everything about him is perfect except for like this area. And yeah, how do you feel about Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth?
Um. Well, I like Cobb Vanth more, since I'm not a huge fan of the cartoon show.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't like it, but I didn't watch all of it. So
Well,
I know Cad Bane is the cool guy, and that everyone likes. I have against nothing against him, and I know he's much more of a bigger character than Boba Fett. So why didn't they do a show about him and Boba? Blows my mind. But that's another question. I love Cobb Vanth a lot because he looks so good. He's a great looking guy. He was awesome. He was always nice. I know he was like the perfect hero. And I'm not sure he died, but he goes in a standoff with Cobb Vanth, with Cad Bane, and he gets shot. He falls to the ground and he stops moving, and everybody's just goes on top of him, panicking, and the scene cuts there. I would be a bit disappointed if this guy dies.
I will be
If
disappointed
the
if he lives.
Because you
Wait,
also see that the only reason he died is because he was so much a good guy that he, instead of concentrating on the standoff and on the duel, he started to worry about his dumbass friend on the left side that
yeah.
keeps trying to help, and he's just go away, go away. I got this, I got this, I got this, and I have a feeling these two guys would have been on an even level, and maybe they would have shoot each other's guns or something. Or
Yeah, true. I definitely thought they were gonna have some like warning scene where it's like, I will kill you if you don't help me, and then they like somehow even out.
like, you will not kill me, no,
Right.
but I won't
But
kill you either because we're both on the same level.
right. But then I realized after like they definitely died. I
You think he's dead?
I think they've totally died
Damn
because
it.
I see a bigger picture of why they killed it off because now you have that one bartender that kind of spoke for the town in a way. I think he resembled like the town itself and how they feel, which is we don't want to help Mando because we've already done enough and we're done fighting and we have nothing to fight for if it doesn't affect us directly. And then Mando's like, "Oh, well, that sucks." Well, then he carries on, leaves. And now that the Pike Syndicate has affected them directly, they're pissed. They've killed off their favorite sheriff who's been protecting the city, and I think they're pissed at least. Like, if they're not, then they're not. But I think that now that they killed the sheriff who's really good at his job, and I'm pretty sure the whole town loves him, they're
Yeah,
gonna
because he's
get
so
pissed and want
nice.
revenge. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
okay. I thought you were gonna say that they were happy because they didn't want to jump in, and the Cad Bane tell them not to jump in.
no, they're
So okay,
pissed.
yeah, okay, I
'Cause-
see it. I see it. Makes sense.
yeah. So that I like that part of the episode because it seemed like straightforward to me.
Okay,
Um.
well, question then: why Cad Bane could not have been any other Pike or bad guy? Why bring this guy
Oh,
instead of this? Is it only for nostalgia and callback? Was
fan
there any reason
service.
to have this one guy, or could have been any Pike just come back in?
Fan service. He was a favorite on Clone Wars. Like if you were watch Clone Wars, you'd like see it on how why or all the way through. You could see like his little arc. He's reoccurring through I think probably multiple seasons, and he's we got like introduced. There's Clone Wars introduces a shit ton of people, and the thing I like about Clone Wars is they're not afraid of killing it off people, despite being a Cartoon Network show. Um, or I don't know if Cartoon Network's a thing in Canada. I don't know how Canadian television works.
I
Um,
know it's on Netflix. That's how I know of it. So
yeah. So, anyways, despite it being a TV, at least in America, being a TV show that was on a kids channel, they were actually killing people off. Um, and Cad Bane was reoccurring, and he never died. So the fact that he was a fan favorite on that show, and that has a huge community, and they saw that by making a final season of that show, they're grabbing way more people to watch this show if they put him in this one.
Okay, well, this might be a spoiler for me, but you know the Clone Wars more than me. Is there actually any link or any feud between Cad Bane and Boba, or they just
I think
put
so.
that out of their ass?
I don't remember. I would have to like rewatch, and that's hard for me because there's so many seasons and so
That's
many.
why I don't get into the show. It's too much.
And not only so many seasons, I would be fine if it was like one episode or 1 hour episodes and like 9 episodes, but there's like 30 episodes and they're all like 30 minutes to 40 minutes long or something like that per season. I'm like, that's a lot. And I've already seen it. So it's not on my top list of watching. But I think they've met. I could easily look this up. Anyone could. But there was definitely like this group of bounty hunters that Boba led. And I think they've interacted before. And Bosk was in it too. And um, so it was this weird, like half bald, half like mohawk ponytail looking lady. And don't remember the names of any of them because they were really
Yeah,
minor
yeah, I know what you're
characters.
talking about. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
the look of it.
And I think they interacted because they're all bounty hunters. And yeah, but Cad Bane was more of like a solo guy. So
Okay,
yeah.
so well, we're reaching the end of the episode now. Cad Bane kills Cobb Vanth. I'm pissed. And
Mhm.
now I'm about to get even more pissed because Luke Skywalker pissed me the fuck up. And we go back to the unnamed planet. And we see Luke and Grogu again. And Luke gives Grogu the little thing that Mando had him prepared by the armor. And we found out, to no one's surprise, that it's a little cutie little chainmail.
Yeah, I love
Which
that.
we could have guessed last week because we saw the little chains, right? When the armor made it.
I mean, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? Yeah,
No.
when he gives the spear to be melted, and you see
Mm-hmm.
the armor build something, it's actually little chains, and you see it. So everyone was
Well,
saying,
that's
yeah,
cool.
it's probably going to be chainmail.
Well, that's cool.
But no,
I
but
thought it was gonna be a necklace or something like weird and just symbolic rather than useful. So,
but then Luke becomes a dumbass and looks at
mm-mm,
Grogu and
nope.
says, "I can't give that to you if you want to, but if you can't, if you take this, you're never going to be a Jedi, and you're going to go back with Mando. And if you want to be a Jedi, you're going to have to forget about him and erase all your attachment." And no, that's okay. I think that's why I love the Last Jedi. The reason, one of the reasons I love the Last Jedi is because Luke says the thing I've taught for a long time, that old prequel era Jedi were dumbasses. They were religion freaks. They were fundamentalists and extremists. And the fact that they could not see past their secret texts left to their downfall. They could not think for themselves, and their stupid dogmas had them all killed. And
Wow.
this guy who's gonna say that to in a few movie, now just exactly jumps into it and does the exact opposite and just jumps and doubles down on these stupid dogmas.
Well, I mean, he's like full blown new. He's like super new Jedi, and he's
Yeah,
like in the.
exactly. Why is he super brainwashed with the stupid ways?
Well, I mean, it's fresh. He's fresh out of like getting taught by those same super religious Jedi.
He was not. No, he was not at all.
Yeah,
That's
by
why
Yoda
Luke's
and
different. He was not taught by these.
yeah, the Force ghosts of Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's the same thing, you know. And then
Hmm.
he gets all these texts eventually. I don't know where, but you obviously he got them at some point, and so he's reading straight from the source of all that religious stuff. So I would see how he's super religious now, but I can also see how he would lose it then by the Last Jedi. Like I understand that aspect of it.
Okay,
Um,
one thing that we had in all the books that I've read and you that you didn't and were wiped away with Disney, uh, is one of these things that the way Luke makes his own academy in the books
uh-huh.
was different and was also like, yeah, these previous Jedi were stupid, they were wrong, they did it wrong, it led to their downfall. Let's do it properly this time, and let's not use these dogmas in the old ways. And I
I
kind of attach to that. Okay, Kinesif here says, I agree the old Jedi were so dumb. There you go, see?
I I I agree. Like that would really be nice and cool to have Luke be like, "All right, let's do it better this time," type thing,
Yes.
and work.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
I would like that, but obviously that didn't happen, and I'm not mad about it because I do like the old Jedi thing because you see it a lot in um, Obi-Wan Kenobi and how he struggles with it actually, in Clone
That's why we
Wars.
like
He has
him.
he
That's
has a
why he's
love
cool,
interest.
because he doesn't follow the. He's kind of a bit more grayish. That's why we like Obi-Wan, because he's not following the.
He is, but he isn't at the same time because he still follows everything. Because he has this love interest on Clone Wars, and he doesn't really give into it, but he does, but he doesn't, and
But he does.
he does, but he doesn't. It's not like Anakin, where he's like sneaking around and making it official on the side type thing. Um, that's why I like Obi-Wan Kenobi because he's like really strong and following the rules, but he's challenged and he's not like perfect or anything. Um, I do like the fact that Luke gave him a choice.
No. Well, you know why? You know why he gave him a choice, because we need to have Mandalorian season 3, and
Yeah,
we need Grogu in the show.
but I really want him to have Yoda's lightsaber because that was cool.
So at the end of the show, Luke gives the ultimatum to Grogu and says, "You can either take the chainmail and never become a Jedi, because you're going to be attached to someone, and God forbid Jedi feel any emotion, right? Or,"
Well,
he says, you can just get rid of this and just become a Jedi and become a brainwashed dumbass." And then the camera pans on Grogu in the show hand, so we don't even know what he's going to do. What do you think he's going to do?
here's what happens. Oh, he's definitely picking the chainmail thing easily.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, what was
not
the
even
point then? What was the point of bringing Luke for 30 minutes if Grogu is just going to leave him and we're not going to see him again? Fan service again? I mean, story-wise.
I really gotta think on that one. I'd say because it's really cool, so I guess fan service, but not really like the fans were asking for it. I think fan service is more of like, hey, the fans really want this, let's give it to them. But this was like no one really asked for it, and I think everyone thinks it's really cool, and it also lines up because this is like when Luke's his most powerful, and this is when he would be seeking out all these, what are they called, force sensitive children, and trying to train them. So it just makes sense to have him around. Like he's literally looking for these kids, and it would be weird almost to not have him around because he's searching for them, and here's one that he somehow hasn't found. So I think if he does go back to Mando and they start doing some adventures, he's gonna have the Force, and it's gonna be really cool. And they also don't have to worry about Luke trying to snag him at any point either, if that makes sense.
Okay. So we both agree he's going to be on Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether
he's the
it's
mascot
Jedi
of the show.
Yeah. But if he isn't, I have a feeling they're gonna make a show about Luke and Grogu.
Well, you said the CGI was not on point for you. Do you think are you gonna endure a whole show out of it?
I think it only gets better. If not a whole show out of it, it's gonna be heavy in Ahsoka. Because obviously Ahsoka is intertwined with Luke pretty good.
Yeah, and that's how they do. You have a show about one character, and then this character doesn't show it, and so you have a show called Luke, and then it's Ahsoka 75% of the time. Kinesis says they were stupid because they believed that a prophecy will put balance to the Force when they were like thousands good to 2 evil. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing about you not liking super religious Jedi. They have a point about attachment because Anakin was attached. If he was literally not attached at all, he would not have lost his way. But the problem
No. He got told not to be attached, which made him angry about them. That's what made love his way.
That's why they were like, you can't train him. And the reason why it failed, and the reason why he even became Darth Vader is because they were like, we'll let it pass, and hopefully it gets better. I don't know if you caught that during the prequels, but they were not trying to let him, even as a kid, they were like, let's not train him. He's not
just because Qui-Gon died. Qui-Gon died. That's why they gave him a pass, because they were no. Then Qui-Gon died, and they said, well, okay, you know what? Your master died. We're going to take pity on you. You can't train the kid.
Did they not? Like, I know they rejected him while Qui-Gon was alive, but didn't they accept him while Qui-Gon was alive? Then Qui-Gon died?
Nope. Qui-Gon says, fuck you, I'm going to train him anyway. And then he died, and then they said, okay, you know what? We love Qui-Gon, so let's honor his memory and just deal with it, I guess.
Okay, but still, they didn't trust him, and they saw the potential. And in the Clone Wars, they even go in more in depth on how they saw the potential of something shit hitting the fan. That's why they didn't give him master. And I don't even know what happened if they actually gave him master. Like, I don't know if he would still go bad.
I mean, if you put someone down constantly saying you will become bad, you will become bad, you will become bad, why are you surprised when they do? When they become bad?
Yeah, I could see that. But he should have not. If he was a true Jedi, don't form attachment, that wouldn't even be a problem. You know what I mean? Like, just try to see it from that point of view. Like Yoda, for example. No attachment to anyone. Perfect Jedi.
Perfect Jedi?
I think he's perfect Jedi, yeah.
He's the one who didn't see and let everything happen. Yoda's the reason why they fucked up.
Still a perfect Jedi. Like Darth Vader's a perfect Sith to me. He still died and actually became good.
We're gonna have to come back on this, Moose.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to come back on this a lot. And
it's a tangent. There's so many tangents.
They are a lot. So that's pretty much the end of the episode. We've been reviewing the old episodes. It's been an hour and a half now. That flew past very quickly.
Yeah, it did go fast. There's so much to talk about outside of this episode.
Yeah, but I feel we're gonna come back for this. Guys in chat, what do you think about it? Do you like it? Should we do this a weekly thing? I've had a lot of fun, and I will be down to be back doing this again. Well, at least next week for the last episode. By the way, there's I don't know if I should say that. There's a rumor going on about a character popping up in last episode.
I did not hear a rumor, so you can say it. It's a rumor. It hasn't even been confirmed. Like, so
it is a rumor, but given everyone who came this week, I think it might. I feel
just
bad.
Say it because everyone that's been here now has already been spoiled.
Han Solo next week.
I could see that. I wouldn't be surprised if Leia was in it, especially since that flashback in what was that Rise of Skywalker where she was getting trained by Luke.
True. What it says, I think he got in the dark side because when he was a child he could have emotion, but then he gets in the Jedi Academy and they told him not to have emotion and he didn't understand. There you go, Kinesif. You get it. Moose doesn't, but we're gonna see him make him see the errors of his ways in the next time.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's someone. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it. It's going to be like another hour and a half. So
yeah.
Thank you, Kenneth, for bringing up another good point to talk about on this thing.
Anything else you want to say about this episode, Moose?
I feel like I'm going to remember it in like an hour after this
thing
ends.
Yeah.
And it's just going to
Let me look at my notes here. Was Luke and Grogu pointless? Kind of. I said here, Luke looks 100% better, but the voice is weird. We touched on that. No Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett. Is this the Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah, no, it's not.
We talked about
a terrible title, by the way. For this
it is. I agree. We talked about nostalgia callbacks versus new stories. Is it a good time to? Is a good time and boring in episode 1 and 4. The kids are called the mods. We talked about that. Cad Bane, yes. Is Cobb Vanth dead? You said you think he is. I'm not sure he is. The little chainmail. And I said here, that's part was I was angry. I typed, what the fuck with the choice, Luke? Wasn't Luke the first one to call out the ways of all Jedi in The Last Jedi?